So exactly who won and lost the first GOP debate last night? What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American, back again with a new video today. It is time that we do a post-mortem video of last night's GOP presidential debate. Now, I think all of us can agree it was better than we expected without Trump, but it still was kind of a lame debate at times. But there were also some very, very entertaining parts that we'll get to in today's video. But we're going to answer who exactly won last night's debate and really who lost and all of that. Now, before we continue with today's video, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit that little bell, follow the social media accounts in the description down below, and of course, join the channel today. Guys, just for $1 a month, you can join Real American. This is the best way to support the daily content that we all know and love. So I hope and recommend you join the channel today. Alright, everybody, so again, Donald Trump didn't show up to the debate, and it still was actually a fairly entertaining debate for a good chunk of it. And of course, we had Governor DeSantis, Governor Burgum, Christie, Haley, Hutchinson, Pence, Ramaswamy, and Tim Scott. So Trump did an interview with Tucker Carlson, and I would say the Tucker Carlson interview was a bit better. It wasn't as energetic, but it was still a good interview. But that's not the focus of today's video. It's focused on how did the debate go. So CBS actually put out a pretty good article about some of the most important parts of the debate, some of the critical parts, and I agree with most of these. So one of the biggest highlights last night, surprisingly, was Nikki Haley. Now, people are overstating how good she did. She did all right. But some of these people, they're making it sound like it was the greatest debate performance ever. It really wasn't. It was okay. But she definitely took some pot shots at Trump. And you look here. She went after Trump for adding $8 trillion to the debt during his only term. Well, she kind of forgets that this was the middle of a pandemic, and basically everybody, he had to. Even if Trump was personally against it, it was going to pass either way. She pointed the finger at Republicans for approving $2.2 trillion in COVID relief during Trump's presidency, and for bringing back earmarks. But this is the thing I'm not a big fan of Haley about. She complains so much about spending, and, I think it's time for an account in the White House. Well, guess what? Take a guess what she said about Ukrainian aid. Yeah, she supports aid to Ukraine. More money. We need to send more money to Ukraine. But proceeds to say, we gotta cut spending. Do you understand why people hate the GOP? Because they say stupid stuff like this. I agree. Spending is a problem. We shouldn't be spending God knows how much at this point. But you cannot just then say, we need more aid to Ukraine. And we'll get to that part in a little bit. But this is definitely a big moment of the debate that kind of showed that the GOP is still not understanding the current electorate. This isn't the Bush party. This isn't the party of Cheney. This is the party of MAGA, of Trump, whatever you want to call it. It's not this pro-war electorate. Now, Mike Pence last night, in my opinion, was kind of the biggest asshole. I know, we have Christie on the debate, but it really was Pence that not a lot of people were happy with. Because he kept going after Ramaswamy for every single thing. I mean, it wasn't just one thing. I mean, he went after him and he called him a quote-unquote rookie who lacks experience, but that's kind of nullified when Ramaswamy has, I think his net worth is $1 billion. He's run several companies, I believe at least. So this experience argument, it kind of falls flat when you're an entrepreneur and you are a multi-millionaire and you worked your way towards that wealth. Like, he does have business experience, which can translate to being an effective president, governor, whatever. I was the first person in this race to say that we've got to deal with the long-term national debt issues. You've got people on the stage that won't even talk about issues like Social Security and Medicare. Vivek, you recently said a president can't do everything. Well, I've got news for you, Vivek. I've been in the hallway. I've been in the West Wing. The president of the United States has to confront every crisis facing America. But that doesn't mean gutting Social Security. This is another thing the GOP still doesn't understand. People don't want Social Security to be gutted. Yeah, they're fine with, preventing people like Bill Gates and Warren Buffett from getting Social Security. But when you talk about jacking up the retirement age, and it's always the funniest thing you hear. Social Security is running out, but we're going to enact policies that only affect people 40 years down the line. How the hell does that make sense? That's people like Mike Pence in a nutshell. We have policies that will take in effect 40 years from now. But we got to solve the debt crisis in 10 years. It's a LARP. They're making shit up. They're not talking about 50 years from now. At 5 seconds after saying, Social Security is running out in 10 years. Ramaswamy fired back that solving the country's economic issues isn't that complicated, and lists off a number of its solutions. I'm not sure I exactly understood Pence, his comment, but I'll let you parse that out, he said. I'll go slower this time, Pence said. I sometimes struggle with reading comprehension, Ramaswamy quipped. Pence added, now is not the time for the on-the-job training. We don't need to bring in a rookie. We don't need to bring in people without experience. That's just such a lame attack. I mean, of all things you could attack Ramaswamy for having a questionable record, you attack him for this? But as you could tell, Pence was not. He just seemed like a grumpy old dude. That's the best way to put it. Like your grandpa, but very grumpy, mean. That's what it seemed like. I mean, anytime Ramaswamy even breathed, you had frickin' Pence blurting something out. Now, on abortion, there is really not much change. I do like the fact they did attack Democrats for supporting abortion, late term. All the candidates really did that. I think this was actually one of the parts of the debates where nobody really had a weak answer. Now, Burgum said that, abortion should be left to the states, which, fine. It's more of a constitutional answer, I guess. Now, the big thing that really stood out the most. All candidates except Christine Hutchinson said they would support Trump if he's convicted. This part of the debate shows the hypocrisy of the loyalty pledge. Christine Hutchinson would not support Trump if he's convicted. But he's allowed on the stage after he signed the loyalty pledge? But Larry Elder and Perry Johnson weren't allowed because what? That's the problem with this loyalty pledge. It's full of crap. And Ramaswamy immediately raised his hand. Look back at it. DeSantis took a quick look at Ramaswamy and then raised his hand. It was delayed. He was hesitant. Same thing with Pence. Same thing with Scott. Or, I don't think Scott actually did. I think it was Haley. This hesitance a way to raise their hands. What are you freaking doing? I mean, this is why you guys are in 4% and why Ramaswamy's picking up steam. Because he understands the GOP electorate. Now, they talk about January 6th, really not that important. They all said Pence did the right thing. But here's the thing. On the Ukraine question, Ramaswamy was the only one that vehemently said no more foreign aid to Ukraine. Now, DeSantis, yet again, he looked at Ramaswamy, then raised his hand. I mean, DeSantis, we'll get to how he did overall, but this is the problem with the GOP. Only Trump, Ramaswamy, and kind of DeSantis. Give or take, he does support decreasing aid to Ukraine, which is better than other candidates. But outside of those three, the rest of the field, they want to increase funding to Ukraine. After 5 seconds earlier saying, we need to solve the debt crisis. We can actually be the world police, but we can also solve the debt crisis. What the hell are you talking about? This is why the GOP is dead without somebody like Trump. Because the vast majority of the own base doesn't support more aid to Ukraine. Hell, new polling from CNN of all places show the majority of Americans are against increased aid to Ukraine. But only 2 candidates said they would not support an increase in aid. Well, DeSantis, he said have Europe step up and do their job. That's fine. It makes much more sense for, Poland or whatever to chip in more. Which I still think we should be focusing on ending the war. But it's better than nothing what DeSantis said. Ramaswamy also took shots at, Christine Pence for visiting Zelensky, calling him his GOP opponent's pope, which, is he really wrong? These people worship Zelensky like he's some demigod. Guys, Russia isn't good, neither is Ukraine. Both sides are some of the most corrupt countries on earth. Who freaking cares? Focus on ending the killing. Don't focus on, we must defend Ukraine. The war should have ended last year, but the GOP establishment, the Democrat establishment, told Zelensky not to accept that peace deal. We know that for a fact. People want the war to end. They don't want the war to continue. And some of these people on this stage, what are you freaking talking about? Oh, well, like this right here. Haley lambasted Ramaswamy for his opposition to more assistance to Ukraine, saying he is choosing a murderer over a pro-American country. You can't make this up. Since when did Ramaswamy say Russia was the good guys? He flat out said, no, just end the war. Stop people from getting killed. This is the problem with the GOP. They don't understand what the majority of their voters want. Nobody's defending Putin. Nobody's defending Russia. But people are saying, just stop the killing. We should be the brokers of peace. And Ramaswamy stood up was one of the only people that stood up to the plate and say, no, we're not going to continue this garbage war. And then Christie also got a question about UFOs because he's from New Jersey. But overall, that was the debate in a nutshell. The GOP sucks. This debate showed the GOP is screwed without somebody like Trump. So, let's go into it. DeSantis, he was awkward. He had a fake smile. He was hesitant to raise his hand on Trump stuff. But he answered some questions okay. But he just kept going on and on and on. And he, of course, brought up the Great American Revival and a country in decay and all of that. Just repeating the same wording over and over again. But he wasn't terrible. Doug Burgum, he did okay. wasn't really special. I liked his messaging on being from a small town in North Dakota, from the Great Plains. There was some good messaging here and there, but you could definitely tell when it comes to social issues, yikes. Christie actually wasn't bad for the first half of the debate, but then the Trump question came up, and yeah, he had some pretty funny attacks on Ramaswamy. I'll give him that. Called him Chat GPT, which I'm shocked he even knows what that is. He was okay. Nikki Haley's been overblown as a great debater. She did okay. But the foreign policy stuff, guys, nobody supports what she's saying. Especially the GOP. So we're going to see what happens in the polling. I don't think Haley, she may get a small boost. You're probably going to see a lot of the donors go from DeSantis to Haley. Hutchinson was non-existent. And really same thing with DeSantis. He had some okay answers, but he really didn't do much. He was just awkward and just stood there. Pence had an atrocious debate outside of abortion. Ramaswamy, in my opinion, won. I mean, he was the only one to stand out from the rest of the GOP field. Tim Scott was non-existent. I don't know what that was about. So overall, I think Ramaswamy won. Haley, I guess, got a win. Christie, I guess. Burgum, just for showing up. DeSantis didn't do bad, but he needed a victory. He couldn't take just okay. He absolutely needed a victory to somehow come back from the deficit he's in with Trump. In my opinion, he didn't have that. Even the Simps are saying, oh, DeSantis did good in the debate. Not great. So, I think Ramaswamy did stand out, though. And we're going to see in the polling how much it really changes. Because I don't know how the polling's going to look in the next week, but I don't think more people want $50 billion more of aid to Ukraine, but meanwhile these same assholes are saying we must raise the age of Social Security to protect Social Security and, balance the budget. Just gotta see what happens, but overall it was entertaining at times, but a lot of awkward moments with DeSantis. Scott had a couple bumps. He didn't really do that good. Pence was a disaster. Hutchinson was Hutchinson. So, yeah. Anyways, folks, thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy this video, smash the like button down below. Subscribe. Share with your friends. Hit that little bell. Follow the social media accounts in the description down below. And, of course, join the channel today. Thank you so much. Godspeed to all of you.